So I've noticed that a recurring theme in the skinning farms that I like to do is that I like to optimize the gold I make outside of skinning. So I know that this is a skinning guide, and as a result all of these farms are going to be based around mobs that you can skin to make a profit. But I think what really tips over any old random skinning spot into a spot that is good and efficient for gold farming is the additional gold you're going to make outside of skinning. So I'm trying to stick away from other professions that you can make gold with in these skinning spots. I have mentioned a few that go well with mining, simply because obviously gathering professions do go very well together, any combination thereof. But really I'm looking for mobs that you can be killing en masse to skin that also have a drop, and today is no exception. Today we are going to be talking about a farm in the Wetlands. Now, the Wetlands are an alliance zone in the Eastern Kingdoms located just to the west of the Twilight Highlands. It's entirely an alliance zone, but it is level 20 to 60, so you don't need to worry about randomly stumbling across any NPCs that are going to attack you and murder you if you are playing as Horde. But it can be a little bit more challenging to get to, but only a little bit. Now, if you are playing Alliance, you can easily get to this farm by going to Ironforge and just flying up, or you can take the same route that you would take as a player of the Horde, which is to go to your primary capital city, be it Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and take the portal to the Twilight Highlands and then just fly over. Now, I will pop a map up here for you showing you where in the Wetlands this spot is, but if you were to come from the Twilight Highlands, it is very easy to get to, as it is basically just the road that leads to the Twilight Highlands. If you just come out of the Twilight Highlands and follow the road, you'll soon spot the location that I am using in this video. Now, the mobs that we're going to be farming here are going to be these little dragonkins, the Ebon slave hunters that you see me killing here. Now, you are probably going to end up killing a lot of these orcs as well, and they are going to drop reasonably well, but they are not skinnable. To my understanding, they are not tied into the respawn of the dragonkin, but trying to kill one without killing the other is going to prove to be quite difficult, and you're nothing out to kill them anyway, it's just going to be additional loot for you. Now, this is not going to be a requirement, but I do highly recommend that either you do this farm on a monk or have a monk come with you. I won't go so far as to say that it's required, but it is going to greatly increase the amount of mobs that you're able to kill. Failing that, it would be a team effort in an attempt to split out and kill as many mobs as possible to trigger this respawn. It is a forced respawn, but you do need to kill quite a large number of mobs, but with one statue, as you can see in this video, it's not hard to trigger the respawn. Now, the items that we're after here are just regular medium leathers and light leathers. You're going to get an awful lot of these, and the reason that this works is because the new scaling system means that when you're farming leathers, you're going to get leathers based on two things. Either if your skill is low, you're going to get low level leathers. So even if, let's say, you were doing the Sunken Temple farm that we featured, if you have low level skinning, you're only going to get light and medium leathers, and it will progress up as your skinning level improves. But in the case of lower level mobs like these, which are designed to be accessed from level 20, you are going to get the medium leathers be the cap at the point where these leathers will scale up. So even though the mobs are level 60, and let's say you were level 60 and eligible to kill these mobs at an appropriate level and then skin them, you would still only get the medium and light leathers. There is one mob that you occasionally will see, a giant dragon from the sky. It's very few and far between and not triggered in the respawn. But if you do kill that mob, you do occasionally get some heavy leather and thick leather as well. Now, they're not enough to consider in the factor this. It's going to be like 1 or 2 every like maybe 10 minutes that you're going to be able to get of those, so I'm not factoring them in for this farm. But it is worth noting that they are there. Now, one of the excellent things that comes with this farm, however, is going to be the additional drops that we're going to get from these mobs. Now, there's a great number of things that we're going to get that are going to be in abundance and of relatively low value, but you're going to get so many of them it's going to add up, including cloths. You're going to get an awful lot of linen cloth and an awful lot of wool cloth doing this farm. Now, these tend to be really low value, but you're going to get an awful lot of them, and they do shift really well, so it is worth just slinging them up on the auction house, and you're going to get a little bit of a added bonus while you're getting your leathers in the form of these cloths. Or, of course, if you are looking to level up a tailor for the sake of making transmog pieces, they are going to be required for leveling the classic tailoring, so Do bear that in mind, it is a use for them. If you don't want to sell them, you can just keep them and use it to level up a tailor. The other drops that you're going to get are going to be in the form of an ornate bronze lockbox, which doesn't really contain anything of value, but it can be opened and just to give you some items to vendor. And there is 1 or 2 potential transmog drops in there, but they are very, very low in probability and in sale rates and values. That would be a judgment call based on your realm as to whether you want to sell any of these, but obviously being that it's a lockbox, it's RNG to get the lockbox and then RNG to get what you want, so I wouldn't come here specifically trying to get an item from those lockboxes, although it is probably a very efficient way of getting those lockboxes if there is something you want to target in them. But what we're really after here is the pet. Now there is a tiny crimson whelpling that can drop during this farm. It is a zone drop from the Wetlands, and the Wetlands is a very, very underused zone. Not many people like to come here because there are better zones for leveling in terms of efficiency, so people often just forget this exists. Especially given that it is an alliance only zone, so horde players, they're never going to stumble across this. And a lot of alliance players just simply don't start in the north of the Eastern Kingdoms. It's only going to be the gnomes and the dwarves, and most of them just take the tram and go down to Stormwind anyway. As a result of this, there isn't an awful lot of these crimson whelplings about, which increases the value dramatically. Now, on average, they're between 30 and 40,000 on most EU realms. On my realm, it's only down at 20, but that is still a massive benefit of a drop that you could get simply by accident while farming your leathers. Now, when I was collecting footage for this video, I only actually did this farm for about 20 minutes, simply because I just wanted to have enough footage to use for the video. And I did actually get myself one of the pets. Now, that was very lucky on my part. I have been doing this farm for quite a long time, and I have done it in like multi-hour stints and not got one, and I have felt a little bit aggrieved by that. But obviously it is an RNG factor, and it's a big thing that you could get to add value to this farm. Now, it has been requested that in these videos I give a little bit of a rundown on what I got while doing the farm, just to give you a bit of a concept of what you might be able to get. I am going to stay clear of gold figures because I really don't like them, and I don't think it's an efficient way of judging a farm for yourself. And gold figures can vary so very much based on blind luck and the realm that you play on, as well as things that you can control, like things like the efficiency of your farming, the number of you that there are, and how precisely you place your statue in the case of these farms. It's really, really variable. But on the fly, using a friend's monk statue and just doing 20 minutes of this farm, about 5 to 8 minutes of which was the 2 of us, and then someone stumbled across us and asked to join, so we got them in the group as well, increased our kill count a little bit. I was able to get approximately about 250 light leather, 250 medium leather, and 500 of both the cloths, the wool and linen. I did also pick up 10 heavy leather and about 10 of the thick leathers from killing the big dragon that I mentioned. And in addition to this, I did also get myself about 50 of the silk cloth, which is a rarer drop from these mobs. A blue item, which on average across EU is worth about 5,000 gold. And of course the pet that I mentioned, which was worth about 20 on my realm. Now, that's a very rough guideline of what I got. Please do not go into this farm thinking that you're going to get exactly the same as what I did. If you are using, say, 5 characters and you have 3 monk statues, which I have done with this farm before, you're going to get so many more kills that you're going to be like blowing my numbers out of the water. And similarly, if you come by yourself and you don't have the statue, your kill count's going to be greatly reduced. You won't get quite as many of the items that we have discussed. Also, you could well turn up, kill 5 mobs and get 5 of the pet. That is a possibility, so please do bear all of these numbers in mind as being variable. Do not go here thinking that you will get exactly the same as what I did. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please do consider subscribing to the channel and consider also giving a like to this video. It helps me a great deal, lets me know that this is something that you're interested in, and means that I will continue to make this series as opposed to perhaps diversifying onto something else. So that's going to do it for this video, guys, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Later.